everyone. My name is Amanda Waldhart, and you are here with Amanda'sInspirationStation.com. And this is our weekly Wednesday, so welcome, welcome. Every Wednesday, I post a video, and I pick either a stamp set or a bundle, and we do 2 projects with it. So as you can see, I have my samples out here right now that we're going to do today, and I'm going to pull this kind of in front of it for just a second. So we're going to work with the Sand and Sea Suite. Say that 3 times fast. I love this, and I haven't had a chance to really play with it too much. I am excited because it is carrying over into the new annual catalog that goes live May 4th. The bundle is, however, it won't be a bundle in the new catalog. You will have to purchase them separately. You won't get them together to save 10%. So if that is something that you want to do, now would be the time to do that, because you can get the die and the stamp set as a bundle in this. However, the annual catalog will go live May 4th, but this still remains until the end of June. So really, you still have till the end of June to combine this as the bundle. Okay. Now, this paper will not be in the new annual catalog. So this paper is only till the end of this catalog. I know that's kind of confusing, which is the end of June. So we're going to work with this paper today because I really like it and I think it's gorgeous. So I have 2 cards here that we're going to make, and then we're going to decorate the envelopes, because I think sometimes you just need to decorate the envelopes just to make it a little extra sweet when it comes in the mail. I know I get really excited when I get mail that's not junk. It's like happy mail. But then when I see like things decorated, I'm like, "Aw." So it's just a little something extra. So with the first card we're going to do, this is actually very cool. This is actually a die cut, but before we die cut it, we're going to emboss it with an embossing folder. So I'm going to pull this out because I'm going to show you. So here's the actual die cut, but here is the embossing folder that actually embosses the same images as this die cut. So we're going to run this through our cut and emboss machine, and then through to emboss all these different like lines and all the fun stuff, the texture. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut it out so that it's like a die cut piece, which that's fun. And I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but this is very shimmery. This is that pearlescent specialty paper, which I'm going to, here, let's see if we can notice this better. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to run it through the embossing folder, and then we're going to run it through the die right afterwards. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with this one. Then with this one here, this one's just a couple different layers, and we're just designing it with a little bit differently. We're actually going to be using pieces from the stamp set and then going and cutting them out with the dies. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start with this one first. I like this one. Well, I like them both, but now that I've been talking about running this through the embossing, cut and emboss machine, we just got to do it. Okay, so I'm going to bring my cut and emboss machine over here because we are going to do it through the embossing folder first. Now, this embossing folder is a 3D embossing folder, which means it is a little bit thicker. So our plates are going to change. Okay, so we want to get out our plates. These are, and we want to look to see what this says. So if you're using a 3D embossing folder, which is what we are, we need plate 1, but then we need plate 4. So I'm going to get out my plate 4. You're going to take plate 2 and 3 out, and you're going to put plate 4 in, and we're just going to run that through. Just like that. All right, so now I'm going to set plate 4 aside, and we're going to open this up. And voila, look at how pretty that is. Okay, So now we want to cut it out. So we need to add our plate 2 back, and we need to add both of our plate 3s back. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay this down, and we're going to line this up. Now, if you do not want this to move around while it's in, because sometimes when you're running it through the embossing folder, it does tend to move. What I do as a little tip is take some washi tape and just kind of lock it down there. That way it won't slide, and you'll get it right on your images of where you need to go. So we have plate 1, 2, and one of the clear plates, which the clear plates, both of them are considered 3. And then we're going to lay the top clear plate over, and we're just going to run it through. And we're going to pull this off. We don't need our die anymore. And then we're just going to pop all of this stuff out. There we go. See how cute is that? It's not really cute. It's actually very pretty. Cute is not probably the right word. All right, so now we have that. So let's go ahead and make our card. So I have our very vanilla envelope here, and I have a piece of the designer series paper. Now this measures at 2 by 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. I have the measurement on the back because I couldn't remember. So this is 5. What did I just say? You guys. Okay, so this is 5 3/4 by 2 1/4. That means that this will fit perfectly over here, where we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out a Stampin' Seal. Since I have it out, let's just do it. We'll decorate our envelope first. And we're just going to place that on here. Now, if you're watching me through my blog, you will notice that I do have a printable project sheet that's completely free. And that is the project sheet on the 2 projects that we're doing right now. So there'll be a colored picture of both cards, plus it will have the supply list and the measurements of what we use today. It's free, it's printable, and if you're watching me on YouTube, there are links that it'll take you right to that to go ahead and print that project sheet. All right, so there is our decorative envelope. So that was pretty easy and fun, right? All right, so we have a couple more pieces. We're doing Melon Mambo. This is standard card base at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And even though I scored it, I'm still going to get out my bone folder. I'm still going to kind of burnish in those creases. Now, I have a very vanilla for the inside, and this is measuring at 4 by 5 1/4. There we go. And we're just going to set that on the inside. And we are going to stamp in here, "I'm so happy I found you." Now, I probably should have stamped before I had adhered that to the inside. And I usually do that, but I kind of forgot. I just realized that I think I put something on the inside. I don't always stamp stuff on the inside because sometimes I have big handwriting, and sometimes I just like that whole section to write on the inside, but I remember that I did that. All right, so let's go ahead and pull out the designer series paper here. This also measures as the same as the inside, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're just going to lay this flat. We're just going to lay that flat on there, just like that, okay? Now, with this piece, we are going to pop this up. So we're going to get out our dimensionals, and we're going to get a little happy with them because I like dimensionals. All right, so let's get a little happy here. Getting to that part where I need to. And then I even take a couple of my mini ones, and I just put them in little areas that I know I can get there. There we go. So we're just going to peel those off. think that's pretty good. All right. And we're literally just going to lay this out on our card. Popping that up. And I see a little piece here. Didn't want to pop out. There we go. All right. So there's that. Now I have a piece of scrap Berry Vanilla. And we are going to use this. And I want to say this is the label story die. Of course, I don't remember. But this is what we're going to use. And I do have my book, so I'll look it up in just a minute. But let's go ahead and stamp in the Melon Mambo. And we're going to stamp, friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. Sweet little saying. And then we're going to just go ahead and we're going to put this inside here. Except for there we go. I feel like I cut this just a tad short. I should have done it the other way. You know what? Yep. I'm going to end up cutting that off, and I don't want to do that. So let's just flip this over, and let's do it this way. There we go. All right, so now we're going to have that for that scene. And then we are going to get out our little star, which I'm going to use the soft or So Saffron. And I'm literally going to do that. And we're going to get out our dies because I'm pretty sure this one has a die. If not, you can always fussy cut, but I thought it had a die. Because there is one that we are going to be fussy cutting. With the next card, we're going to be fussy cutting that big blue shell. But shh, I don't want to tell you that, right? Some people don't like to fussy cut. Some people really don't like to do it. All right, so I went ahead and I just put some washi tape right on my little starfish because especially when it's littler images like that, I tend to always slide it somehow. And then I hate that because then it's like you cut it crooked and it doesn't look right. So there's our little star. All right. So let's put our stuff together now. So we're going to get out our dimensionals again. And we're going to put them on the back here. And I just kind of centered this like, I just kind of put it over here. And then we're going to put our little starfish. But we're still going to do one more thing. Because we have the shininess of this paper, I could have used this paper to actually stamp on. But I did not do that because when I was designing these, I used the regular Sahara Sand cardstock on this one and the Balmy Blue, but I wanted it to still be shimmery like this paper. So I just took my Wink of Stella and I literally am just going to color the whole starfish with Wink of Stella. There we go. And there's our first card. Friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. I'm so happy I found you. And then there's the card. What a great card to send to your friend, you know, or a special, just special someone. What a great card. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set these aside because now we're going to work on this one. And let's get this one out. So, and let's clear off my mess. I always feel like if I'm starting a new card, I need to clear off my mess. So with this one, we're going to do the same card base size, 5.5 by 8.5. And we're going to score it at 4 1/4. I've already scored it, but I'm still going to use my bone folder and I'm still going to varnish in those creases. Now I have two pieces that are the same size here. I have So Saffron and Berry Vanilla. Both of these measure at 4 by 5 1/4. Now this one is going to go on the inside, the Berry Vanilla. And let's make sure this time, do I have something stamped on the inside? Oh, of course not. I just had it on the first one. which of course you can put whatever image you want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that inside. And then we're going to go ahead and put this one on because it goes on flat. We're not popping that up. So we're going to put that on. All right, so there's that. Now, the next piece is going to be the Designer Series paper. And this measures at 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that on flat too. This card has a lot of layers. I definitely like layers. This is scrap. This is scrap. We're going to set that aside for right now. Now we have 3 pieces right here. So, and this is the Sahara Sands, and this measures at 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Then we have the Melon Mambo, which is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. And then we have the Very Vanilla, which is 3 by 3. Now, we are not stamping on any of these because we are going to stamp our image on this piece and then these and pop them up. So, because we're not doing that, I'm going to go ahead and just place this already on our card. Now, I am going to put this flat. They're all going to be flat when they're put together. However, I am now going to put dimensionals on the back of this one because I do want the box to pop up just a little bit, well, the square. So I do want that to be popped up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put one in the center. No saggy centers. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that just right about there. Okay. So now we have some stamping to do. We have our seine to stamp, and we have to bring out our 2 scrap pieces. So I do have my piercing mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set. When it's a smaller image of the photopolymer stamp set, a lot of times I don't feel I need the piercing mat. I probably should use it at all times, but I don't always feel I need it. But when it's a bigger image like this, I find that I need that cushion of that piercing mat because if I don't, what's going to happen is sometimes the center doesn't stamp. So this is just my scrap here. So I'm going to, oh, perfect. That looks great. All right. Now with the Sahara Sand, I have that as my piece of paper. I did not use the Sahara Sand ink. I actually wanted it to be a little bit darker and to stand out a little bit more on this sand dollar. So I actually did it in crumb cake. Just wanted it to be a little bit more. So we have that, and now we have to do our little seine, which we're doing that in the Melon Mambo again. And this one says, "Happy birthday to my beautiful friend." And we're just going to stamp that. There we go. All right. So now we have our pieces stamped. So let's move that out of the way. Now, I do have, let me find it here, because I thought I pulled it out when I pulled out these. Well, here's my star. I thought I pulled out the sand dollar die. Did I not? Oh, do you guys have this problem sometimes? Sometimes. I feel like I always do. Okay, I swear. Oh, you guys. Okay, we're fussy cutting. I do know that there is a die for this. I really thought that I pulled it out. Why are these not? Well, I will find it. I feel like I know I'm not the only person who has this problem where we have it right in front of our face. You ever go to look for something and it's like stuck to your front of your shirt and you've like, seriously, you've spent like 5 minutes looking for it and then you realize, oh, duh, it's right on top of my shirt. Okay, well, you guys, clearly I've lost it. So we're going to have to fussy cut. I was getting all excited to not have to make you guys fussy cut everything, but sorry. So sorry. All right, this one is not hard, and this one you would have had to fussy cut anyway, because there is not a die for this one. But I don't know what I did with my other die. I'm going to have to look for that. But I'm not going to waste your time. Besides the 5 minutes that I feel like I already just wasted of your time. So I'm sorry about that. All right. Now to make these shiny, we are going to color them with Wink Stella. See, that one wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. All right. And I'm sure this one isn't either, but you know, when you have a die, see, I'm cutting on the line here. All right, let's do these little end notches here. And let's do a little bit there. All right, sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so we need our Wink Stella, and we're going to color in using our Wink Stella. I always got to be careful because I don't want a big, huge glob of it to come piling down. All right, and then we're gonna color that in. And you know, you can always, if you are having a hard time like with it coming out, just kind of take a scrap piece of paper and just kind of squeeze it a little. That usually will get it started, but every once in a while it will come out as a big glob, and then it ruins whatever you were working on. So I definitely recommend going to your little scrap, or like off to your grid paper or something like that. All right, there we go. Now, look at, I had that one. I was playing around with this to begin with, and I started to stamp it on the very vanilla, but I thought I liked it better on the Sahara Sand cardstock better. All right, so let's flip these over because we want to use dimensionals for them. So we're gonna put some dimensionals here, some here, and we're just gonna go ahead and kind of center that up like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and do our little sand dollar. And then with this one, I'm going to kind of just tuck it in like that. I am still going to use dimensionals, but I do just kind of want to tuck it. So I'm not going to put it all the way to the edge with the notch here. And you can use your scissors for the notch here, or I used, which I should have shown, I did use my Pick a Banner Pick a Tool punch. And I will tell you that this measures at 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. Yes, so 2 3/4, sorry, 1 inch. So it's 1 inch by 2 3/4, which again, this is on the project sheet. I should really print the project sheets before I do these videos, because then maybe I would remember them. All right, so the opal rounds, I love these. Great for any and all projects. I'm just going to put one in the corner like that. So there's our card. Love that. But now we still need to decorate the outside of our envelope. So let's go ahead and get some Designer Series paper on the top part of our envelope. So I just used my Stampin' Seal. And I'm just going to kind of line that up. I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm just going to go along the edge of my envelope. So we're just going to do that. All right. I love this seashell stamp set. I really do. And I'm going to be going to Maui We leave May 18th, my husband and I, for the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, how perfect, because we're going to a resort. And I do like seashells. I love the ocean. So I thought, oh, this stamp set's going to be so perfect when I'm scrapbooking. And so I, of course, had to have that. All right, so I hope you guys liked this week's Weekly Wednesday projects. I think they're really pretty. If you're watching me on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And just so you know, you can purchase this still now, obviously as a bundle along with the paper and all that. If you go to amandasinspirationstation.com, please use this host code. And if you spend $50 in the month of April, before shipping and tax, I will at the end of the month mail you a free simple chamois. And that's just a thank you gift for placing a $50 order with me this month. So for the month of April, you get the free chamois. And you can go and print out these project sheets at any time. You guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Wednesday for sure, but maybe another time before that. I don't know. But for sure next Wednesday. So bye.